Some call Bali the Island of the Gods, and some others call it the Glorious Island. Regardless of what you call it, Bali is undoubtedly one of the most beautiful places you can travel to. The island or province of Bali is situated just east of Java and west of Lombok, and is by far the leading tourist destination of the country of Indonesia. Beyond Indonesia, the Gods Island is one of the most renowned travel destinations in all of Southeastern Asia, and it's not hard to see why. The thought of traveling there calls to mind endless blue oceans, sunsets you can fall in love with, white sand beaches, lush jungles, captivating waterfalls, and even mystical temples. In Bali, there are too many sights to take in and so much to enjoy in so little time. So, unless you're a local, you might struggle with planning your activities to ensure that you make the most of your stay. Hence, the need for a carefully curated itinerary. In today's video, we will be showing you how to spend 14 days in Bali. Bear in mind that this itinerary is specially structured to help you get the most fulfillment out of your trip. Let's get started, shall we? Days 1 through 5. Now for the intricate details. The town of Ubud is the ideal place to start your adventure in Bali, especially if you're interested in learning about the Balinese culture, eating healthy, delicious food, exploring jungles and waterfalls, and shopping at local markets. The town is about an hour and a half away from the airport. Compared to other rowdier beachside towns, Ubud is Bali's more tranquil cultural center and thus a perfect way to kickstart your 2 weeks. After arriving in town and settling in a hotel of your choice, like the Kaon Jungle Resort, Waits Sari Hotel, or any available Airbnbs, your first day on the Gods Island starts in the Ubud Monkey Forest. But before you go have fun, a good day should start with a hearty breakfast, and you can stop at the Wild Air restaurant on your way to the Monkey Forest. The restaurant is a safe bet, as it serves a wide variety of cuisine with a large breakfast menu, including eggs Benedict, avocado toast with feta, breakfast burritos, and many other options. After your first meal of the day, you can begin your experience of a lifetime at the Monkey Forest, which is not too far from the restaurant. The next few hours would be spent in the forest, a famous wildlife sanctuary home to hundreds of long-tailed macaques. Wandering through the forest while the wild monkeys swing from tree to tree trying to steal your water bottles or valuable items can be pretty exhilarating. After leaving the forest, you can do a bit of walking and get to know the town of Ubud. If you're early enough, you can try the town's famous babi guling, a traditional dish of succulent roasted suckling pig, which you can get at Ibu Oka or Gungkung. The day wouldn't be complete without experiencing the Kikak fire dance, which happens in the evening. Be prepared to get lost in the immersive trance-like atmosphere of the dance as the performers chant the famous chak 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 sound. Your next day should start quite early, as the next destination you'll visit requires the early morning sunshine to show all of its splendor. Tagalalang Rice Terrace is just a 20-minute drive from the center of Ubud, and it is without question one of the most beautiful places to visit in Bali. The sights that await you there are beautiful green rice paddies that stretch on for miles and miles. In the middle of the rice paddies is one of the town's best restaurants, Sacred Rice, which offers a unique cuisine experience, one you can only get in Ubud. Just a few minutes away from the paddy fields is one of the busiest temples in the whole country, Tirta Empul. If you are feeling up for it, you can participate in a water sacred ritual alongside the locals in the temple. According to many who have participated in the ritual, it marks the beginning of a whole new spiritual journey. After such a spiritual experience, the Nung Nung waterfalls and the Tibumana waterfall await to give your mind an equal awakening. However, please keep in mind that both locations require tours that you might have to book way in advance to secure a spot. While on the tour, it's important to stay hydrated because Nung Nung is one of the biggest waterfalls in Bali, and a tour around it can have you walking for hours. While in Ubud, you should make time to take a simple walk around Kampuhan Ridge. This picturesque location is one of the best places to watch the sunset in all of Bali. Mount Batur is an active volcano, and it is also another breathtaking place to witness a beautiful Bali sunrise. But before you embark on this adventure, you should pack the right hiking gear and be ready to break a sweat. Of course, it will all be worth it once you reach the spot. With all that walking, hiking, and simply having too much fun, you might want to take a day to relax and take it slow. On your lazy day, you can stop by any of the countless spas around Ubud. The professionally trained personnel will do wonders for your body and have you feeling refreshed and ready to conquer the rest of Bali. The best way to wrap up your days in Ubud would be to visit the Ubud Art Market. There you'll find all sorts of souvenirs to take home with you. Days 5 through 7. Next, you head to Nusa Penida, one of the 3 sister Nusa islands southeast of Bali. The island is well known for being home to Canggu Beach, one of the best-ranked beaches in Asia and the world, and it notably has a dinosaur-shaped rocky hill jutting out by the coast. After settling into a hotel on the smaller island, you can head to Canggu Beach and find out just what the hype is about. After soaking up the sun at Canggu Beach, the next place to visit is Penida Waterfall. If you have a fear of heights, you might want to admire the waterfall's grandeur from the safety of the ground. If you don't, you can climb up its 700 stairs and say a prayer or two at the temple there. And if you walk past the temple, you will discover natural infinity pools hidden all around. When you are able to pull yourself away from the mesmerizing waterfall, you can have dinner at any of the nearby restaurants and finally call it a day. The next day will bring you to Atu Beach, yet another gorgeous beach Bali has to offer. At Atu Beach, you can spend hours swimming with Bali's giant manta rays. Afterwards, you can bring the day to a close by visiting Angel's Billabong, a famous natural infinity pool hanging over the waters overlooking Mantra Point Beach. Days 7 through 9. After enjoying all the pleasing sights of the beach-filled Nusa Island, your next destination is Nusa Lembongan, the largest of the Nusa Islands. In Nusa Lembongan, your first stop will be the Dream Beach. There you can settle in any of the cozy 28 thatched roof bungalows overlooking the ocean. Each bungalow features charming gardens and an infinity pool to play around in. Now that your accommodation is sorted, kick back, relax, order a drink, and enjoy the view because after this, it's time for a wet adventure in the Devil's Tears. Devil's Tears is a rocky area with lots of giant waves that create massive splashes. And what good are waves without some surfing? If you're up for it, you can surf the crazy waves and get the ride of a lifetime. If you are not much of a surfer, you can still enjoy the exhilarating experience of watching the massive waves. After such a wet adventure, surely you would want to be on dry land for a while, right? Wrong! The next item on your itinerary is scuba diving in the island's crystal clear waters. Aside from being crystal clear, the waters in Nusa Lembongan are home to a large number of marine creatures, which means there is a lot to see underwater. When you are done saying your goodbyes to the sea creatures you met on your scuba diving adventure, you can check out the Blue Lagoon. The Blue Lagoon is a somewhat hidden beach, so if you are lucky, you will get to be alone with your thoughts as you bask in the sun. Days 9 through 11. With all that adventure giving you the excitement of a lifetime, a trip to Kuta and Seminyak seemed to be in order. Although these tourist hubs are laden with more tourists than you can count, it is the ideal place to reduce the pace after your time at Nusa Lembongan. Here, you can surf in calmer waves at Kuta Beach, especially if you just picked up surfing recently and can't brave the waves of Devil's Tears just yet. While visiting Kuta and Seminyak, you can spend your days beach hopping between the various beaches in the area, which include Legian Beach, Potato Head Beach, Double Six Beach, and many more. To get the best out of your stay, we advise that you spend as much time outdoors as possible and experience as many sunsets on these beaches as you can. It is truly a sight to behold. When not spending time at a beach, you can enjoy the shops at Jalan Laksmana, the shopper's paradise. Here, you can buy whatever you want at whatever price you need, be it budget knickknacks or luxury keepsakes. Days 11 through 14. Finally, we're at the last days of your trip to the God's Island, And what better place is there to spend them than the village of Canggu? There, you can spend days surfing the Canggu waves, which are considered a surfer's paradise. If you have wondered how the locals party it up, then you should stop by one of Bali's popular sunset parties at the Old Man's Beachside Bar. Littered all over Canggu are affordable luxury villas where you can spend your remaining days. Between activities, you can choose to unwind with some yoga in any of the village's countless yoga studios. At lunchtime, you can drop by any of Canggu's adorable cafes. After all, the village is not called a cafe haven for nothing. On average, you might be spending about $50 a day on your trip to Bali if you don't mind mid-range hotels, dining at local joints and cafes, and riding on a rented scooter. Before you begin your trip to Bali, here are some things you need to know if you want to enjoy your time in paradise. Bali is a tropical island with a matching climate. This means there are only 2 seasons here, the rainy and dry seasons. That, in turn, means that there will be a lot of sunshine or rain and humidity depending on the month of your visit. With this in mind, the most suitable time to visit the island is during its dry season, which lasts from April to October. With June to August being the most frequently picked vacation times, scheduling your trip to fit into Bali's dry season should not be a hassle. If you are unable to visit during the sunny months, you can still visit Bali because the island's city rainy season isn't that much of a deal breaker. Rain in Bali tends to come in quick bursts and is not a continuous downpour, and since not many other people will be visiting around this time, you would be getting tons of discounted deals on accommodations in places like Ubud and Canggu. The next thing to know when visiting Bali is that while public transportation may be the easiest way to move around in any vacation spot, Bali offers very little of that comfort in that regard. Buses, which are the primary mode of public transport on the island, are usually filled to capacity with just as many livestock as people and can be caught up in traffic for hours, as the roads in Bali are often congested. That said, the best way to move around would be to rent a motorbike or scooter, only if you're an experienced rider. If you're not, then you can use the Uber app or hire a personal driver that knows the roads well. While on the island, understanding the locals won't be too much of a problem because although Balinese is the spoken language, English is widely spoken in the places tourists find themselves. Lastly, when packing for your trip in the glorious island, be sure to pack lightweight clothes and bathing suits for the beaches, hiking gear, and clothes that cover your shoulders and upper arms if you're going to be visiting the temples. What about if you're traveling in the US? Here's the 15 best places to visit in America.